coast to coast, it's your hosts, the Lombardi Leap and Mersey FB. This is Beyond the Frozen Tundra.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, the Lombardi Leap, here with Mersey FB. Let's talk Packers football. We are going to, I would argue, one of the hardest stadiums to play in the Mile High.
Yeah, for multiple reasons. You get a little winded up there.
Yeah. Conditioning. Speaking of conditioning, Sean Ryan, that's going to be kind of curious to see how that plays out. But let's kind of talk about these two teams here. Obviously, the Packers, we are, 4-0 in the division?
Yes. Quadrupled our win total in the division from last year.
Quadrupled our win total. 4-0 in the division. And the Denver Broncos, I would say, I would argue that the Denver Broncos are probably in one of the tougher divisions this year.
Yes.
I mean, or would you say it's on par with ours?
Ours is harder, but it's there.
So they have, obviously, like the Chiefs are in that division, the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Broncos. It looks like the Broncos might win their division this year. I think that's kind of what it seems like. I mean, they're 11-2, right?
Yes.
So that's a team that isn't exactly. They're 6-0 at home, 5-2 away. They've won 10 games in a row.
Yeah, but when you look at the recent games that they've won, the past 5 have been one-score games, with a couple of them coming down to the wire. Even going back to the midseason, pulled out 2 close ones against both New York teams. So they've won a lot of games. They've won a lot of games close, and I think that's credit to their defense.
Yeah, they definitely won a lot of games on the backs of their defense. They're like I know we were talking about this a little bit before. I kind of called them a poor man's 49ers, but the more I think about it, they're like a higher upside Cleveland Browns.
Wow. Great comparisons. Yeah, I see that for sure.
Quarterback play.
I would also say that this is one of the best defenses they've faced all year. So
yes,
it'll be interesting to see if their offense can hang around in the game. And then that works 2 ways, because Denver's defense is arguably the toughest defense we've played.
Yeah, and like our offense right now, total offense, we're 13th in the NFL. Like, we're averaging almost 25 points per game. And to kind of rehash that defensive point too, I mean, our defense is only allowing 19 points per game. That's pretty good, all things considering the gauntlet we've come out of with this NFC North run here for the last couple of weeks. And then we're playing 3 out of our next 4 games on the road as well. So I think that we're going to really find out, is this Packers team peaking at the right time, and are they geared up for the playoffs?
Yeah.
Going into Denver is one of the ways where you can find a lot out of a team. On the bright side, though, at least we have somebody who knows how to kick there.
That is true. McManus has done it for a long time there reliably. So
well, maybe McManus can give us the old insight on how to beat the Mile High fatigue.
A lot of oxygen tanks that you're going to have to bring. You're going to see guys just inhaling it on the sidelines.
Well, I mean, let's kind of get into our offense here. I kind of briefly hinted at it. What are you kind of liking here that the Packers are doing?
Starting to throw the ball more, which is good, down the field. And you're getting healthier
more too.
You're getting away from a lot of the trick plays that they were doing, or into the dead areas where the flats. You don't see Jordan checking it down as much, which is good. This is a plus. They're not forcing it to Romeo as much either.
They are definitely utilizing Christian Watson in a lot more than just as the X. I know they popped him out of the slot a couple times last game. It seems like Matt LaFleur's moving him around a bit,
just creating the mismatch. And the run game's hitting their stride too. We've seen some stability on the offensive line.
Belton's playing well for a guy who's switched from the left side to the right side and specifically playing right guard. Like, obviously, he's partially responsible for that sack against the Bears. But all in all, I think that because you move Sean Ryan to center, we talked about this last episode too. You're seeing this ripple effect for the offensive line and for Jordan Love. He's able to get time to throw. You're seeing continuity there, and it's helping because the center play has improved and the right guard play has improved. Aaron Banks' play has improved. Zach Tom's getting healthier.
Banks is getting healthier, or is healthy too, which helps.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's our offense in a nutshell here. I think, like, realistically, the focal point, and you kind of alluded to this in the introduction there, is this is a Broncos team that really seems to be winning on the backs of their defense. And the offense can be a little shaky at times. I think that's fair to say.
I also think their defense has some weak spots in the secondary and like second level.
You think there's some weak spots in the secondary?
Yeah, a little bit. If your name's not Pat Surtain, like I think it's a little rocky. But their defensive line, top 5 unit in the NFL, objectively, generating, especially at rushing the passer, generating a ton of pressure. Nick Bonito, got to give him his flowers. Didn't see that one coming out. I thought he would be a good edge rusher. I didn't know he was going to be as good as he is. He's tied with Micah in terms of sacks, or does he have one more? He is tied with Micah. Jonathan Cooper, good edge rusher too. Zach Allen, great interior guy. I will say their run defense is not like ideal on the defensive line,
especially up the middle.
They can live with it with the amount of pressure they're getting. Their defense is kind of built to put you behind the sticks and make you overcome it.
Yeah, they really want you in that third and long, especially so that way they can just rush you and get to basically keep you behind the sticks, like you said there. What do you think are kind of ways in which you expose it?
You pick on anybody not named Patrick Surtain in the secondary.
I mean,
like, I'm sorry, Riley Moss, you're going to have a tough one. Christian Watson will line up opposite you, point at you, get Jordan's attention, and then you just take off and good luck catching up to him.
Because he does give up some chunk plays.
Like, they have Talanoa Hufanga, great, strong safety. Brandon Jones, like, all right. Jaquan McMillan, all right. Same with Chris Abrams-Drain. They're not playing Jahdae Barron for some reason. Can't imagine why.
Like, McMillan's playing better in the nickel than he is.
Yeah, McMillan is a good nickel corner. Singleton and Greenlaw, great linebackers, not the best in coverage. Like, Dre's coming off a torn Achilles a year or two ago.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's true.
And then, so I don't think...
Wasn't that against us
in
the playoffs?
Wait, I thought it was in the Super Bowl.
It might have been in the Super Bowl.
So it'll be interesting if he's regained the same, like, mobility that he had earlier in his career prior to that injury. Singleton, look at their defensive grades right now, is like middle of the pack. Great in run defense, a little below average in coverage.
I mean, I know that their run defense generally struggles with the power formations. So when the offenses load like heavy personnel near the tackles, especially, like you can overload them and really get off a chunk play, even though they are only allowing like 3.7 yards per catch.
Per carry?
3.7 yards per carry. Sorry. You can still get some big 6 to 10 yard chunk plays.
You just wear down their D-line. Hey, 3.7 yards a carry is still a first down if you run it all 4 times. So
exactly.
Or all 3 times. So
yeah. And I think one of the things that I don't think Jordan Love gets enough credit for is his escapability. And part of the reason why I don't think he gets enough credit for it is because he's not a Murray Scurrier, as I call it.
He looks as graceful as a baby deer when he takes off and runs.
Yes. It is not something I enjoy watching him scramble. But he can still extend the play and then drop a dime.
Yeah. Defensively, I think, or the matchup to watch this game will be, can Rasheed Walker like at least survive?
Gonna be sending a lot of chips that way. Like, I know Zach Tom can survive. I'm actually not overly worried about the interior.
Yeah, like Zach Allen, Jonathan or JFM and DJ Jones match up like stylistically well with what our interior can do. Kind of stop power rushers. Zach Allen's the twitchiest out of those three, so it'll be limiting Allen's impact and Benito's impact on the line of scrimmages if that's how we can be successful in the game and give Jordan time.
Yeah, I mean, over the middle, like, you can definitely exploit that pass rush by running some quick slants, maybe some tight end, halfback releases there, just to kind of counter that pass rush early. I'm not going to hate seeing a couple. Well, I should say, I think you might see a couple more early jet sweeps out of like Jaden Reed and stuff like that, because I know he has the speed to get around the corner.
Yeah, I know you said over the middle stuff, but you do kind of want to be careful because Hafunga will like kill a receiver over the middle or has the capability of doing that. So you don't want your guys to get hurt, but it is football.
It is football.
To kind of add to your point, I think we can wear down their defensive line by running. Like there are two ways to really wear down or neutralize the defensive line. You switch to a hard count and you run the ball. You kind of get that defensive line on their heels, and then they aren't.
Matt LaFleur running the ball? Who would have thought?
Yeah. And they aren't they can't time the snap as well. And if they do get off the snap quickly, the offensive line is going to them and they don't have like the first step on them. So
that's an excellent point there. I mean, getting any little advantage you can, especially for our offensive line, which is, like I said, it's up and coming. It's playing better, it's coming together. I do think at the right time.
Mm-hmm. I remember seeing JJ Watt talk about this on Twitter, and I'm trying to find it right now, so I'm not working off my memory. Yeah, if you can, unpredictability in the timing of the snap is kind of key to get the defensive line off their heels. Because if the D-line can time a snap, it makes their life so much easier.
True. I don't know about you, but I think our snap timing has gotten a little bit less unpredictable with Sean Ryan versus Elton Jenkins.
Oh, for sure.
Because I know that with Elton Jenkins, there were times where, like, you knew when he was going to snap the ball. Like, I knew when he was going to snap the ball.
And part of this, too, is, like, using pre-snap motion as well. Just any unpredictability for the snap.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, the way Matt LaFleur's moving around Christian Watson now. I mean, is he going to be at the X? Is he going to be at the Z? Is he going to be out of the slot? Like, with Matthew Golden coming back, too, that's only going to further that unpredictability because you can bump him outside. You can bump Jaden Reed outside if you'd like to. Obviously, like, I wouldn't recommend throwing it if Patrick Surtain is on
Watson,
6 foot Jaden Reed or but I'm not gonna be surprised if Jordan Love takes a shot for Christian Watson on Patrick Surtain.
I think that gives them their best shot on a completion for Patrick Surtain. But
yeah, yes, if he doesn't have Romeo Dobbs, it's gonna end up in a pick.
You would lose your mind.
Not sorry. That's just. I would be so mad. I would be so mad. I'd be like, the one thing you are not. I don't want you to do. If it's Romeo Dobbs on Riley Moss, okay, that's different. I'm okay with that. But if it's Romeo Dobbs and Patrick Surtain's on him and Love still tries to throw it to him, I'll be like, no. One thing I don't want you to do not do that. Don't.
I was going to say, I kind of want you to take it away with our defense here and what you think their keys to the game would be.
So here is the one thing with their defense, with the Broncos offense. They are not good at generating explosive plays. I know there's a lot of talk about how good is Bo Nix. I think earlier in the season, I thought that maybe there was like the J.J. McCarthy line, which was like if you have a quarterback that was like J.J. McCarthy, you're okay.
Yeah.
Not great, not bad.
You're renaming it?
I take that
back. The Bo Nix line?
Yes, I'm renaming it. Yes. I take everything back that I said because Ryan has proven that he can not play football this year, especially. Regardless of his last game. I do think it's a lot more accurate to say it's the Bo Nix line. Because he's an okay quarterback. I know the biggest issues that this offense has, like, it's their bottom tier in yards per attempt, their bottom tier in explosive plays, their bottom tiers in just efficiency overall. Like, they look good though at times, but it's a lot of short passes. There is not a lot of chunk plays, and there isn't really a consistent deep threat. So, as the field kind of shrinks, Denver is really near the bottom of the league in red zone touchdown percentage.
Okay.
And they actually they really settle for field goals a lot more often.
Oh, that
too, as well.
that's part of like inside the mind of Sean Payton.
Yeah, that is true. Another kind of issues is like they obviously have Sutton.
Yep.
As a wide receiver.
Great wide receiver in my opinion.
Yeah, great wide receiver. I mean, outside of that though, like there isn't really anybody who's I would say
don't slander Troy Franklin. He's done a lot for my fantasy team this year through a relatively poor fantasy season overall. Franklin's been one of my bright spots.
I mean, I know he has 5 touchdowns this year. Like, I get that. But I wouldn't say everything's kind of consistent enough.
Also, can't forget about Evan Ingram.
When it comes to it's like they're not consistent enough when it comes to the tight end. You got to keep in mind, the Denver Broncos were the one team who wanted to trade for Luke Musgrave.
True. That's got to tell you something. All respect to Luke. Actually, I do love Luke. We're figuring out how to use him. So.
Yes, we are finally. And they signed a former beloved Packer.
Yeah, big dog.
Who's now on the big dog, Mercedes Lewis. Yeah. So when it comes to their tight end room and the consistency there, it is very much lacking. I mean, Evan Ingram was cut by the Jacksonville Jaguars for a reason. Like,
he was cut, right? I forgot about that. I thought they traded for him.
No, he was cut.
Important to note, Dobbins on IR. Their RB1 is now RJ Harvey. Good running back. Can fumble occasionally.
He does have a little bit of fumbling issue.
That was his knock pre-draft was he fumbles. But good on him for not having one so far in the league.
That's going to change with Cooper.
Can happen at any point in time. And he is smaller. He's only 5'8", 205. So.
Yeah, their running back room is small. I don't know if you noticed that.
Noticed.
Like, RJ Harvey, 5'8", 205.
McLaughlin's not the biggest either.
McLaughlin is 5'7", 187.
Yeah.
He's more of a gadgety. Then you have Tyler Batty, who's 5'8", 197. He's their third string running back.
Man, it must make run blocking so much easier if they just fit through the tiniest holes.
Yeah, if he's just running through their ankles or between their legs. Another thing that I don't think people realize with this offensive is the offensive line isn't as good as you think it is, and specifically the interior has given up a lot of pressures. I don't know what it's going to look like, with us missing Devontae Wyatt, but on some positive defensive line news, LVN has returned to practice.
Hopefully he can play this week.
Hopefully he can hopefully he can play this week. So overall, like, you listed kind of their last couple of games in the beginning here. They're not scoring a lot of points. I mean, let's kind of look at, they scored 24 points. Okay, cool. Against the Raiders, a depleted Raiders team. Because that defense, not that good. Same for the Washington team. Won in OT, 27-26. Kansas City, better defensively, 22-19. And then the other Las Vegas game, 10-7. Like, what are we doing here, people?
Yeah.
18 points, Houston. That makes sense, actually. Houston is a good team. Good defense, I should say, specifically. So, if you can pressure Bo Nix, it's gonna cause problems. They're not gonna score a lot of points. It's just a matter of, are we gonna be able to score more points than them.
I think we should be able to.
I think we should be able to too, because with our offense, with our weaponry room, you can't guard everyone that fast, especially if Golden's back. Like, okay, I know we kind of rag on Musgrave, but he is it seems like Matt LaFleur's figuring out how to use him properly. He's fast. Like, Luke Musgrave is quick.
Musgrave's figuring out how to catch too.
Yeah, that was a catch. I'm still bitter.
Um,
Yes, I am still bitter.
If Musgrave can keep catching it and staying on his feet, that's the next thing that he clicks for him. Oh boy.
Please Musgrave, stay on your feet here. Which, I mean, I do want to. I think we can get into our predictions here. Like, who are you feeling? What are you feeling here, score wise? First and foremost.
Okay, score wise, it's going to be a little tighter. Let me just scroll down. I said we were winning this one 21-18.
McManus field goal to win it?
Yeah. However, it is possible this one goes the other way. Like, I wouldn't be super shocked or disappointed.
Yeah. I hate picking us to lose.
I know.
Bad.
I'd feel bad doing it too, so that's why I'm not. But hey, I'm just a small disclaimer. And then
I will be a homer with the score as much as possible.
Yeah. My player to watch offensively, Emmanuel Wilson. If Josh Jacobs can't go this week, which I think it's a fine week for him to miss, just so he doesn't risk an additional injury. Wilson can more than step up in his place. And Jacobs didn't play in the New York game, right? Like the Giants game?
No, he did not. That was Emmanuel Wilson's season.
And that he had a great game there. So
yes, he did.
Wilson should have hopefully more than 70 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Hopefully, maybe.
What about Marshawn Lloyd? Does he come back, or do they give him another week?
Ooh.
I know. I was just thinking about that. Because I was watching some clips in practice, and Marshawn Lloyd looks quick.
If he comes back this week, he's on a snap count. This is not the game to just throw him to the wolves against, in my opinion.
I think this is the game. That's my thing. This is like, you play the Bears next week.
That would send him out to the Ravens, actually.
I don't think you can. I think that's the end of his. I think the end of his window is the Bears.
Oh,
he missed this last game.
I forgot they designated him to return so early. Oh God, yeah. Okay, so I think he does play this week. Anyway, snap count.
Snap count. Ah, man,
is there an open roster spot for him?
No, we have like 1 billion defensive tackles and defensive ends. That's not a joke, actually.
So you think they cut Mosby then?
Yeah. With LVN coming back, it looks like. I think that if it does happen, it'll be. We'll know more. End of the day Friday, to be honest.
Yeah, we're just speculating now. I don't want to do that with
because they do wait last minute. They waited last minute for Jaden Reed. Like I think Jaden Reed got activated on Saturday? I think.
Yeah, it was Saturday.
Yeah, so that'll be a last minute thing.
And then defensively, swapping over here, I think it'll be Edgerrin Cooper, who has a good game.
Better.
A couple TFLs, maybe a sack and a forced fumble, depending on if he has to blitz or not.
You think they blitz him or Quay? Because I feel like they're going to blitz Quay, if anything.
Yeah, it would probably be Quay.
I just like Cooper in coverage. He could get an INT.
Cooper can cover better. He could get an interception. That's true.
Especially with how much he likes it to. They like to throw it over the middle there and check down Charlie.
Yeah.
We're very similar in our scores, especially. I went 24-20. Just because of their red zone percentage is not that great, and I even feel weird giving him 20 points because I feel like it's gonna be maybe 2 touchdowns and a field goal or 1 touchdown and 4 field goals, just kind of from what I've seen from Bo Nix and that offense. But I'm confident with how this offense is rolling, that the Packers can score 24 points at least, which
that
would obviously win it 24-20. And because of the Bo Nix passing game and just the lack of consistent explosive plays, deep plays, and that sort of a thing. Obviously, I think Xavier McKinney's going to shut that whole back end down. Not even a
For
question.
sure.
Evan Williams, I think, is going to continue his rise to all-pro prominence here in this game. And I think Evan Williams is going to get an interception, which we was robbed of last week against the Bears. I'm not bitter. I think he's going to get that.
At all, eh?
Not at all. I do think Evan Williams is gonna continue, and he's gonna have a game, just because of how much they're gonna. They do rely on that short passing game, and Evan Williams is always around there. He's always around in that area, and I know he can guard tight ends because he took one away from the Bears tight end, intercepted it.
It is important to note that I think Denver will be motivated this game because they can clinch a playoff berth with a win.
That is true.
So
that is true. And the Packers do need this.
We
too, as
do
well.
we need to get one
Like-
up over the Bears. Who do the Bears play this week, out of curiosity?
I think the Bears play.
Oh God,
the-
Cleveland.
Cleveland. They could lose that. I'm not kidding.
If they start Shadur, yeah.
Which they should. I believe they are. So the Bears could lose that. I'd say it's less likely, but, I think Myles Garrett might destroy some people there. And then offensively, Jaden Reed, man. We saw how much he was used heavily in the first half of the Bears game. He's back. I think he's ready to go. I think they're going to progressively incorporate him and Watson more and more, especially just with moving him around, moving him outside, moving Watson to the slot, just to create so much confusion for that secondary. That Jaden Reed, they're going to be so focused on Christian Watson, who is having a year since coming back from injury, by the way. I mean, we're getting to the point with Christian Watson where we can pick him every week, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
But Jaden Reed, I definitely think that it's going to be his game. I think he's going to get his touch. I think he's going to get his touchdown. I think he's going to get close to 100 yards. I should say this, all-purpose yards. So 1 touchdown,
all-purpose yards, yeah.
100 all-purpose yards, just to clarify there. And Evan Williams, I think, again, 1 interception. I think that's it's going to be his big game. He's going to be getting rewarded with the interception he was robbed of last week.
Yeah. No, hopefully he gets one this week. I think if Golden is healthy, he could do well this game too. But we just, at this point, can't pick him because it never works out for us.
We don't want to jinx it. I don't believe in Juju here, but it seems like every time we pick him, he's like, I'm just not going to play this time. Hopefully he's back, though. I think this is, obviously, like we said, it's big because winning this game is important for the Packers. One, if you have to travel, it can confirm that we can travel and win, especially on this on these away 3 out of these 4 away games here. That's going to be big. Unless we miraculously somehow the cards fall and we win out and we claim the 1 seed because the Rams and Seahawks lose some weird games. It's not impossible for us to clinch the 1 seed, but like I said, this is important because 1, gets 1 up on the Bears even more, and 2, you're playing the Bears again, coming off a win, you're building success on success. And I would really like to get to 10 wins, wouldn't you?
I would really like to get to 10 wins too.
Especially early. I'd like to win out. I think the Packers need to win out to carry the momentum, unlike last year.
Yeah.
Well, 9-3. Let's get to 10-3-1. Hit these last 3. I can't believe there's only 4 games left total. And let's win this game, get back home, and then focus on the away game on the Bears. That's all, folks. Until next time.
To Packers fans coast to coast, thanks for going beyond the frozen tundra. We appreciate you tuning in. And as always, go Pack Go!